Had our ride yesterday, and I noticed just at the start of the ride I was having some clunking on the left front. Didn't notice it when I loaded it up, but now I noticed it. You can't tell anything, like that axle's in there solid, but when you turn, I noticed that I have a little hole in the boot, and that the CV joint was starting to, the knuckle was starting to clunk. So gonna pull it out. You can replace that CV joint, but I think BRP wants like 200 bucks for that, and then you got to get the boot and the straps, and a whole assembly axle is only 300, so might as well go with a whole new axle. So we're gonna pull it apart today. So I got my trusty 14 mil ground down socket, make it fit this MSA rim here. I have to take off the main spindle nut. That one's torqued to 151. I have to take off the brake and the rotor, and remember, I think it's the lower one. All I have is 1 1/16". Fits pretty snug, so that's what I'm using. And a nut, and a washer, and I gotta take the brake off. The brake caliper is held on by 15 mil. Okay, brake caliper taken off, all full of mud. And I'm looking at the race driven brake pads, and they're down to almost the 16th. So they've been wearing too. Oh well. I don't know if they were any better than the BRP ones or not. Okay, spindle comes off. All nicely packed with grass and stuff. This bottom bolt that holds the lower A arm in is a 15 also. Huh. Pop a fuse. Huh. I think my 100-year-old gun finally bit the biscuit. Interesting. I have to get out the air one. Alright, with the miracle of video, I have the air ratchet all ready. I might have to pry that out a bit. I'll be forced in there. Puller, or whatever you want to call it, a wedge. And it finally comes off, drops down. And the tie rod nut is a 19 mil. And we got to hold it with a, it's always nice to have a nice skinny old junky wrench, 17, 19. Because it's 17 up top, 19 below. Run out of air, I don't have the compressor on right now. It makes too much noise, but we got her. That pops out. Put the nut and the washer back on. Well, it looks like I gotta take the shock completely off to get enough room. Shock is off. I'll see if we have enough room now. Oh yeah. That's what we needed. Oh yeah, that knuckle is dry and shot. Okay. Okay, so hopefully this axle comes out alright, and I might lose a little bit of oil from the front diff because I haven't drained it. I'll drain it later and change it. Yeah, here comes the oil. So, that's the axle, and you can see it's seized, like it doesn't rotate like it's supposed to. So, I get a little can for the oil. Just going on a rag right now. Okay everybody, the new axle has arrived. It actually came with a dust cap. This is how a new axle joint, CV joint, works. This is how one works that's going out. It's stuck right there. So I'll take that, there's that rip. I'll take this one apart in a bit and we'll take a look and see what exactly is going on it, but got the new one here, so we're good to put it in. And she's in. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining out and this low pressure has been playing havoc with my head. Headaches going like crazy the last couple days. It's just it's brutal. It'll go away for a little bit and then it'll come back with a vengeance. So right now it's not bad, but it hasn't been fun. Now, I'm going to put some never sees on this bottom knuckle here, just to make sure that if it needs to come apart again, that it will come apart pretty easy. Same stuff I'm putting on the studs, the wheel studs. Two washers, one on the bottom, one on the top. Two Ugas is all it needs. And then the cotter pin goes back in. That should be good. Now I'm going to put the shock back in. Shock's on, bolts are tight. That one's tight. New axle, tie rod's in tight. Just going to put a little bit of waterproof grease on these splines here, just to keep the water out of there from corroding and making it hard to come off later. Like that. Now the brake caliper can go on. We'll put the Loctite on these 15mm head bolts. Tighten a little bit. Like that. Now a washer and a nut. And that gets torqued to 151 pounds. I'll get the torque wrench out for that. Oops. Turned on the wrong way. 151. Okay, don't forget the cotter pin, and I have to go a little bit more to get the cotter pin in. Never sees around the studs. And then the wheel goes on, and then like I said, I've been torquing them to 51 on the wheel studs, and haven't been coming off, and I never had an issue with the studs breaking again, so that's what I'm sticking with.